Good morning. It is 7:30 a.m. and normally I'm not awake this early, but I woke up early to go diving. So waiting for the car to come pick me up, and we're gonna go on the boat to Koh Phi Phi for the day. I'm excited. Let's hop on, guys. Good morning. I think we're here, guys, at the pier. Alright, here we are at the Chalong Pier, guys. We'll give this little pink tuk-tuk. Guys, we are here. I did not think I'd be going diving again this time soon after Maldives, but just wanted to do one nice, beautiful dive in Thailand for comparison. We won't be getting on one of these catamarans though. We're going to be going on one of these big dive boats somewhere. We are going to be going on the Mandarin Crane because of all the Chinese divers that are going to be with us today. So even though we're going scuba diving, we're all required to wear these orange life jackets on our way out. I'm sure once we get out of the pier, out of the marine police, we can take it off because it's hot to wear this. But here's our crew for the day. You see the sea of orange, but not for that much longer.
Okay, so welcome everyone on board Mandarin Queen 5, our boat today. Okay, and my name is Maggie. I am a trip leader on board. Nice to meet you all, guys. And now we are departure from. So we're gonna go diving for 3 dive today. Everyone, 3 dive.
So the last time I went diving in Koh Phi Phi was actually about 7 or 8 years ago with my cousin Jacob, and it was absolutely beautiful there. I really wanted to come back to this site, not only because it was one of my favorites in Thailand, but also I was very curious to see how much things have changed throughout the years just with diving in the underwater world. Unfortunately, with things like rising sea temperatures, a lot of coral has been dying over the years, overfishing, kind of unsustainable commercial fishing practices. But I remember it being a very beautiful place, clear water, decent coral, but lots of fish life, very varied with turtles and sharks, and it was absolutely beautiful. I worked as a dive master and as an instructor from 2008 till about 2013, so I had a really good time living in Thailand and diving, working in islands like Koh Tao and Koh Lanta, and diving all over the place and seeing, what the underwater life was like, and actually teaching and guiding students from around the world, probably hundreds, if not over 1,000 students from the whole world. So Thailand and the underwater world really has a special place in my heart. So that's why I always come back and I always go underwater when I do. First off, we got breakfast time, guys. It looks pretty good. The problem is it's chicken sausages. The eggs look good, fried rice, potatoes. I'm going to be eating a lot today. Here we are. Guys, what's really cool, a little bit crazy, is so I worked as a dive master for 5 years in Thailand, and I've never seen Thai tourists fun diving. And now there's Thai dive masters, and they said that ever since COVID, because they couldn't travel outside the country, a bunch of Thai people in Bangkok learned to dive. And now it's like a very popular sport. That's really cool. But they didn't. It was crazy for years. I never saw a single Thai person go fun diving. Guys, set the GoPro, let's go diving. I booked the dive through Aussie Divers from a friend's recommendation, and they were nice enough to let me use the GoPro so I can make this footage for you guys. So big thank you to Aussie Divers. Alright, so let's get ready. Guys, we're ready to dive. Let's go. boat here. Snorkelers. So what are my first impressions and how has it changed since I dove here last many years ago? I would say it's hard to tell because with underwater life and visibility, it changes all the time. So from dive to dive, it's been unfair to compare one single bad dive like this one, where the visibility at times is really green and kind of unpleasant. But what I look for now is coral and sea life, and the coral seems okay. It's the whole world has bleached due to kind of warming of the oceans, but I saw big schools of fish, which was a plus. You know, still obviously good diving. These two girls from Singapore loved it, and I still saw some pretty cool exotic fish, like this spotted boxfish. It's a blue spotted boxfish. I spent a lot of time kind of just hanging out with him. So that's something I actually didn't see in the Maldives. These, when they're juvenile, when they're babies, especially the yellow ones, are really cute. So definitely recommend you look for those if you can. But I chased this guy around for way too long, and I actually lost the group for a second. But eventually, I caught up to them, so it was okay. But he was worth it. He was very cute. And there's easier fish to spot as well, like this angel bannerfish. But what I really like are these big groups of fish, these big schools. I think these are either kind of yellow fusilier or something. And this Thai girl, the fun diver, I gave her this footage afterwards. So I hope she appreciates it because it was really beautiful footage. Swimming through it, having her be on the other side, especially with her cat ears, which was always a cute bonus. But as you can see, the water outside is actually a little bit green, so it wasn't the best visibility, but the kind of nutrients in the water does bring fish life out. So it brings the schools of fish, it brings the sharks and things like that. So sometimes it's actually good not to have the best visibility if you want to see the most abundant fish life, but it is also not great, you know, when you're swimming around kind of in murky water where you can barely see 5 meters or even 5 feet ahead. But when you look at the rocks, the crevices, you see some things like these blue spiny lobster, which thankfully still exists, even though there's so much seafood consumption in Thailand, between those beautiful stonefish, which were very camouflaged. But at the end of the dive, we did our little safety stop. I have my countdown on my dive computer here, and as you can see, we went to 15.5 meters for 48 minutes. And I came back with actually very low air. A little bit below the 50 bar that's recommended, but it was fun. Woo! Guys, how amazing of a dive was that? Welcome to Koh Phi Phi, guys. We just got back from the first dive. I thought it was pretty good. But what looks even better is this lunch that they're serving. Let's see what they got. Rice, noodles, fried veg, shrimp, chicken. It looks good. And of course, this nice, beautiful view while we eat. Alright, took a little break after lunch, and here is Koh Phi Phi, guys. So one of the nice things about coming on a dive trip is you get basically, it's kind of like a yacht when you're not diving, right? You're going around, you're going to the different beaches. Unfortunately, we don't have actually time to go onto the beach itself, but with some dive boats, we actually can. So we might have lunch there or something, but we had lunch on this big, beautiful boat while having a nice view. So we take a little rest, and we'll hop back in. How beautiful is this place? Alright, and just like that, you heard the horn, hop back in the water, guys. Let's go.
Good luck, wonky maker and the batter and everything.
Alright guys, ready for dive number 2. Numero dos. So here we are diving in Koh Phi Phi itself, and right away you can see the visibility is not as good as the betas, and definitely not as good as my previous dives years before, but still it was decent. The water is pretty warm. I think it was probably 25 or 26 Celsius, which is why I'm just in rash guard and not in a wetsuit. And there was still some fish life. I really like this porcupine fish. This is the one that puffs up with spikes when it gets scared. You never want to try to scare it just to make it puff up, because it's really bad for it. And if you ever see it puffed up on the beach, it's probably already dead. So even though it's cute when it's puffed up, it's actually not a good sign for it. A cousin to it is actually this seal-faced pufferfish. These also puff up, but don't have spikes. As with the first dive, we did see some big schools of fish. So it was nice to be able to swim through these tornadoes, we call them, of striped, yellow striped frisee here, or snappers, I think these might have been. But overall, it was a decent dive. Nothing spectacular to write home about. Definitely not as amazing as the best dives in Maldives, but we did see a turtle. Actually, we saw 2 turtles. This is the first one we saw. He was just hanging out and chilling, cleaning himself in the rock. This place was actually called Turtle Rock, so it makes sense. And this was the second one we saw, just maybe a minute later. And Turtle Rock dive site actually lived up to his name. I hate it when they call it Turtle Rock just because the rock looks like a turtle, but this one actually has sea turtles, Kelpie Kona, or curled pelled, whatever you want to call it in your language. And I handed my camera actually to the dive master so she can get a shot of me swimming behind the turtle, doing little upside down tricks for you guys. So hope this came out pretty good. The camera looks like it's blurry, not because it has a dirty lens or anything, but literally the visibility was that bad where anything that couldn't focus right away from the sides or far away looked a bit hazy. That's just because the water visibility was not the best, but overall it was a pretty decent dive. And here we are putting the safety sausage, because there are boats and speedboats that do drive by. So this is how you know we're ending the dive, and to let other boats know where we're coming up and not to run us over. So overall, okay dive. Wow guys, beautiful guys, absolutely beautiful. Guys, we just got done with our second dive, and it was incredible. Really good dive. We saw 2 turtles. I saw a bunch of scorpion fish, tons of schools of fish. Overall good dive. The this today isn't as good as it normally is in Thailand, but it was still decent. Lots of fish. Normally when there's current and like bad visibility, that means more fish life, more schools of fish come out. So it is what it is, but anyways, pretty comfortable here. So shut up for a bit. And it's hard to complain with this beautiful view. How was it, guys?
Yeah, good.
Did you guys see anything?
Saw a turtle.
Yeah? First turtle?
Yeah, turtle.
Good job. Good job. You see it as well?
I didn't go out there.
Oh! Why are you taking that high five? I want that back. Give it back. Give it back, mate. So after the second dive, we have ice cream. Ooh. Some fresh fruit as well. None better than a bowl of ice cream. It's the luxury life, guys. Koh Phi Phi and little nice ice cream. Wow.
Yeah, buddy. Look at this current. Woo! That's a fast current.
Alright, so here we have the third and the last dive of the day. This one is called Shark Point where supposedly you may be able to see some leopard sharks. I've actually dove this many years ago, and I did see leopard sharks, actually 2 of them mating, which is really cool. But today, the visibility was absolutely terrible. You can't really tell from this video, but you can see less than 5 meters, maybe 10 feet, 15 feet. But we did get to see a seahorse. Another couple group of divers found it, and they were showing me with their flashlight. I don't know how much seahorses like it when you intrude on their homes like that. It must be kind of scary for them, so I don't recommend it. But anyways, right away, when my guide showed me this sea pipefish, it's a pipefish. It's a kind of a cousin to a seahorse, and I was taking a video of it. And when I looked up, my guide and the whole group was gone. I have no idea where they went, so I just stuck around with the pipefish for the 5 or 10 minutes in the same area. I ended up seeing some squid floating by, so I had a nice little session with them, but you really couldn't see more than 10 or 15 feet. So I waited 15 minutes and I gave up. So I saw another group that was putting up their safety saucers to go back to the boat, and I decided to join them per procedure. And I went up, and luckily we found everyone on the boat. It wasn't a big deal. We actually had lost another diver right in the beginning.
All right, we just finished the last dive of the day, third dive of the day. Not the best one. Horrible viz. A little bit of current. But overall, good day. Obviously not as good as Maldives, but the good thing about Thailand is everything else is better. So life, when you're out of the water, is better. And when you're in the water, it's still pretty good. So ironically, it's about the same price each time. But they definitely feed you a lot here as well. It's nice. Oh, McDonald's. Thai McDonald's. So this is better than McDonald's? Alright, we are almost back after a couple hours. Nice, easy ride, beautiful sunset. Definitely an easy, peaceful day.
If you've never been diving before, I highly recommend it. Phuket is where I got started, so definitely a great place to do it because you're on a big boat. It's not rushed. You can do a day trip, which is called Discover Dive, just a 1-day dive where someone's holding your hand the whole time, or you can do an entire 4-day open water course. You can do it with SSI or any of the other companies. PADI is probably the most popular, but they're kind of like the Walmart of dive companies. I would not recommend them, but sometimes that is the only option. So unfortunately, like it or not, you're going to have to dive with PADI, but they're definitely not the best.
Ôi, đi đang đi chân rồi đi chú đi lan đi.
Soy luck. Good dive today. Nice to meet you guys. Okay, mai. Okay, ha. Học bài mai đi lên.